Hello, this is Kente, live, all the way live from Los Angeles, California. I am so glad to be here with you once again for another episode of the Spotlight Hollywood. I am here with my lovely co-host, the one and only Miosha Bean. How are you doing, Miosha?
I'm great. I'm great. Glad to be here.
Yes, and of course you can follow me at Kente F. And how can people follow you, Miosha?
At MDB Films.
That's right. So we have so much to talk about. It's been a while since you've been on the Spotlight Hollywood. So
Right?
a lot of things are coming down the pike for you. And so hopefully at some point we will get to all of that. But the thing that we are here to talk about is one is the Pan African Film Festival, which me and you, we do have a project that's in the Pan African Film Festival.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that. And we are so fortunate to be joined by the lovely, the wonderful, and talented
Beautiful.
Beautiful, extremely beautiful.
Yes.
Amy Patton, who me and Miosha had the pleasure of meeting twice now on Friday and Saturday at the Pan African Film Festival. She has a lovely film that is in the group of films that are shorts at the Pan African Film Festival, and also as an actress. She's in another film too, and we hope to get that filmmaker on as well. So, how are you doing, Jamie?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Now, what we love to do is we love to give our audience some background into yourself. So we always like to start off from the beginning. So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Youngstown, Ohio, and for those who don't know, that's about 40 to 50 minutes. That's 50 minutes outside of Cleveland. It's right on the Pennsylvania border.
Okay.
Nice.
So I always hear about the Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. There's like a rivalry there. Was that something that you grew up with, the kind of rivalry with the surrounding states?
With football, with sports?
Football, look, I talk to people from both of those, Ohio and Michigan, and they don't have nice things to say about
Listen, I didn't get caught up in all of that. I mean, my family is football all day. You got the Browns and the Steelers, and we got any Bengals fans? But I don't get caught up. I tried to get into football. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I understand.
But it's serious, all the way down to Little League. It's
Wow.
all church and football in Ohio all day.
That's right.
Wow.
Now, did you go to high school in
I actually started off in high school in Youngstown, but I ended up moving to Atlanta,
Oh, wow.
where I attended a performing arts high school, and I studied acting and started directing there. It
Okay.
was called North Atlanta School of the Arts.
Nice.
So you knew at a young age that you wanted to go into the arts.
Yeah, I was lucky that way. You know, a lot of people get to college not knowing what they want to do with their lives. But I mean, I did go back and forth when I was 7, whether I wanted to act and direct or find a cure for cancer. But eventually, it came full circle, and I'm directing and acting.
That's
Were,
awesome.
were you one of those kids that love to perform for the family and do that kind of stuff? Were you
Um, I
extrovert?
used to put on skits. I used to write little skits in my grandmother's living room. Like whenever there was a family function or a holiday, my cousins and I would all get together, and our job was to get the entertainment for the night together. So I just put myself in charge, wrote the little skits, and gave myself a little cameo and all. So yeah, I've been doing this since young. I've been knowing what I wanted to do for a while.
Okay. So after high school, what did you go on to do?
After high school, I went to Howard University, where I studied. I started out in communications, radio, television, film production. But then I took an acting class up in the School of Fine Arts, and a couple of students there, one by the name of Jeremy Mansay, J. Kyle Mansay, and the other one was actually Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, okay.
They convinced me to come over to Fine Arts and get my BFA
Nice.
up there. So
What was your first professional acting job?
first professional where I actually received money, is that considered the delineation between professional and non-professional?
Yeah, I
Right.
guess. Yeah.
I want to say It was actually a DoorDash ad. There was a company agency in Atlanta. What was the name of this agency? Anyway, I sent them a letter saying I wanted to be an actress with them, but they told me I didn't have enough experience. So they told me they'd take me on as a model. I was 15, still the same height, maybe about 30 to 40 pounds lighter.
Wow.
And it was a DoorDash ad. Remember the little DoorDash vests? Girls used to wear with the baggy jeans. What was that? It was me and two other girls who were modeling the vest. So I guess that was kind of my first acting gig. But it would have to be, oh goodness, it's been so long. Oh, it was a commercial for Newsweek. Remember the Newsweek magazines, little inserts?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, it was a little Don Union commercial I did.
Wow. So your modeling experience, can you tell us a little bit about that? How did you enjoy that, doing modeling?
Well, it was actually very short-lived because I like food too much.
No way, you look amazing. Are you kidding me?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But I remember I had this job, this modeling gig at the Atlanta Apparel Mart. And it's where the buyers go and, you watch the girls in the dresses and they pick out the dresses they want. And I kept hearing the two women who were running the show saying, oh, we're going to put the big girl in that dress. We're going to put the big girl in that dress. And I'm thinking, who is this big girl? She don't show up. It did maybe about a half hour. I realized they were talking about me.
Oh, no.
So I was like, no, this is not for me.
No.
I won't be modeling.
Oh, wow.
While it lasted.
Oh, wow. Hey, you got that in your resume, though.
Yeah, right.
I can say I did it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Oh, man. So let's talk about acting. Now, did you get a chance to do any theater?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually from the theater. I started out at the Youngstown Playhouse. When I was about 7 years old, I started taking acting lessons there and caught the bug when I was in the 5th grade. Once I found out I could take off days from school and I got to perform and my friends could come see me in the play, that was it. It was a wrap. So, yeah. And after that, I told you I went to North Atlanta School of the Arts where I was a theater concentration. So, yeah, I love theater. I mean, I love filmmaking, but theater is my first love.
All right. Now, one thing that we've talked to many actors who, cut their bones and doing plays and such. And one thing they always love to talk about is the interplay with the audience. So was that something that you like, getting that feedback, the instant feedback of your work with the audience?
Oh, absolutely. Because the audience is like another character in the play. And the biggest place I learned this was at the Billie Holiday Theater in Brooklyn. Have you ever heard of it? It's in Restoration Plaza. I don't know who's the artistic director over there now, but it used to be Marjorie Moon. And I remember doing a play called Frida Peoples. Nice. And it's a drama, but every night it was some kind of comedy from somebody in the audience. You had to have nerves of steel because these people believe they belong on the stage with you. You can be in the middle of a dramatic scene and they're like, no, girl, don't take your ring. I'm up there trying to, bring the tears out. And people opening their chicken in the audience, talking to their neighbor. But I loved it. There's nothing like, even when the audience is silent, you can feel them. You can feel if they're with you, or with film, that's a whole nother beast. You're not getting that feedback that you're getting instantly right there in the theater. So, and that's part of the reason I love it.
Can you tell really early on what kind of audience you're going to have? You get that feel?
Yeah, I would say yeah. You can tell. You get a feeling at the start of the show, which is good because you can adjust yourself. You can, depending on the performance, you're like, oh, this audience is a little bit, they're not necessarily as present. So you can make little tweaks. I mean, that's not always recommended. You shouldn't change your performance based on the audience, but it's good to be aware.
And also, too, adjusting, because you can't say cut and do it over. So, like, adjusting to the idea that, you're on that high wire and things happen, right? Things happen while you're
Okay.
on stage. You know, maybe somebody doesn't say their lines correct, and you got to adjust. You know, you got to adapt. So, how much is improvisation a part of what you do on stage, as well as just in acting? Period.
Oh, improv, being a good improver will save your life on stage. I remember doing I think it was part of the same show called Frida Peoples, and one of the actors, I can't remember his name, but he was having a nervous breakdown right there on the stage. And at first, none of us could tell what was happening, but he hadn't taken his medication or something, and he just started having a. But thank goodness somebody improv the mess out of that scene, and the director ended up coming on stage and escorting him off the stage. So,
Wow.
and for a while, I don't think people even knew that it wasn't part of the script. But that's just a testament to when you're working with professionals, and people who know their craft. That's why I have the utmost respect for people who come from the theater.
You know, one thing that's great is when you see an actor that's like in that zone, and they become like their character, and you don't even see their regular who they are anymore. I mean, it's amazing, especially when you see two actors on stage that are playing off each other, and they really just got that thing going. I mean,
absolutely. That's why I love Jeffrey Wright so much. I mean, Jeffrey Wright is a star. He's a freaking celebrity in his own right, but you don't see the celebrity when Jeffrey Wright performs. You see whatever, character he's playing in that moment. So I appreciate character actors in that way.
Yeah, he's absolutely amazing. I just want to let people know once again that you can. We will take questions. There's a open seat. We'll open up the open seat a little bit later in there, and also too we'll take callers. The calling number is 323-522-4601. 323-522-4601. We'll take callers in a few. But also too, I want people to know that we are here with actress, writer, director Jamie Patton, and we were talking about your career as far as an actor goes and stuff like that. And I want to talk about the idea of turning from acting to writing, producing, and directing as well. What made you? Was that always part of the plan, or was that something that came later?
No, I think naturally, just storytelling as a medium for me has always been something very attractive. And in my mind, I've never separated the three as far as acting, writing, directing. It's all storytelling to me. When I first started out doing this professionally, I had people tell me, oh, no, you have to choose one. If you're going to direct, you need to focus on that. Or if you're going to be a writer, that's all you do. You just write. But that never felt like enough for me. It felt like I was putting myself in a box. So, and then I had actually a mentor of mine said to me, what's the problem? Why can't you do all three? So I said, yeah, you're right. I should do all three. And the more I actually started going out and auditioning after I got out of school, I was frustrated. I was thinking, oh yeah, I'm just going to go out and land a soap opera or get an agent and get all these movies. But I said, if I have to audition for one more prostitute or somebody's baby mama,
wow,
I'm going to lose it. So writing and directing became a natural outlet for me. Also photography. I actually picked up a still camera, and that was another creative outlet for me. So it's been kind of liberating to finally accept and own that I can do all of these, and it's fine.
How was it? How is it directing yourself?
That I have not yet mastered. As far as directing myself, I actually did a short film back in 2009 called Skeletons. I directed it, I acted in it, I wrote it, I edited it, and I looked at it now and I'm like, it's awful. I needed some outside perspective. It was a bit much at the time. I'm not saying it can't be done, because I heard Nate Parker has done the darn thing with, Birth of a Nation. So I'm excited to see it, to get some inspiration and say, oh yeah, it can be done. But right now, If I have a script that I want to act in, I'm going to find a director who want to put their hands on it.
Do you have somebody that you can go to as far as for advice professionally about, that you trust their judgment, that, they'll tell you honestly if it's good or not, or, give their honest opinion?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm so thankful for these people, these friends that I keep really close. Napier Groves, she's one of them. I don't know if you heard of her. She's an actress. We did our undergrad grad together at Howard, but she's very honest with me. Maika St. Alban, who was the writer-producer of Finding Her Light. She's one that I keep close and is very honest. And also Susan Watson, another actress that I admire and came out of Howard with. But it's good to have these people. And you don't always like it. You don't want to hear it, but it's good to have it.
It's really good, yeah, right? Absolutely.
All right. Go ahead, read that, George.
Oh, we have a question. Sweet. All right, so we have a question, and somebody says, "How did still photography evolve into filmmaking?" That's a good question.
When you think about filmmaking, film in general is just a series of pictures. You got 24 frames in a second, and you're putting all these pictures together to create a story. And I actually had another mentor of mine say, if you really want to be a great director, if you want to be a great filmmaker, pick up a still camera. And it wasn't until I did that and I started seeing pictures, you start seeing images everywhere you go, So in any good movie, I think you can look at it and see the good images and how they tell a story.
Yeah.
You'll be able to snatch any frame from a movie, from a good movie that's told visually well. You'll be able to take a picture and it'll say something in that frame.
Nice.
Now, who is
this is wow.
Now, let's talk about your film Finding Her Light.
Yes.
Now, I'm a film snob, right? I don't, I don't like a whole lot of different stuff. But one thing that I really base with things that I like is if I feel like that's something I could not do at all, or I don't see that. And when I saw your film, and I was so blown away because I missed it the first night, and I was so fortunate to see it the second night, and I was just so blown away that you were able to tell such a wonderful, beautiful story with no voice at all, just the images, the beautiful images, and the great performances and everything. And I can sit there and tell everything, but I'm gonna let you do it.
Yeah,
because
it was absolutely.
I just get excited when I have see such great material. So please tell the audience who may not be aware of this film about your film.
Well, it's kind of, first I have to say thank you. Thank you for that lovely compliment. I didn't do it on my own. It was a great team. Like I said before, Maika St. Alban is just a great producer, and she wrote the script. And when she first approached me about it, I was thinking, I don't know, because it's a little fantastical. It's not necessarily set in reality. And I've always had a little bit of trepidation about directing something that I didn't write, especially when it's not rooted in a very hardcore, concrete reality. There's so much that can be left to interpretation when you're, dealing with this type of genre. But thankfully, Maika trusted me, and it was a process from the casting to location scouting. I mean, Maika was there every step of the way, and we mostly agreed on everything. Of course, the day of shooting, you have to be able to be malleable because you're not getting everything you want. But luckily it turned out great. At least I think.
Yes, it's amazing. So
it turned out great, and the message is there, and I think it's relevant to what to what's going on today. I don't think the story has been told in this way before, and I think a lot of young girls can relate to the message, which is, for those of you who don't know, just the short of it is Finding Her Light is about a young girl who's very close with her father, but her father and her mother get a divorce, and you see everything that she goes through growing up as a young girl, trying to fill this void that the absence of the relationship with her father left.
Yeah, that's nice.
And they want to know where does she draw her? Okay. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Go ahead, Miosha.
Oh yeah, she answered. I was going to ask you, like, what coming up with the title of Finding Her Light. Like, how did you come up with that title? But you just said it, so.
Oh yeah, Micah St. Alban once again came up with the title, which I think is very appropriate. Yeah. The script wasn't always as it is. It kind of evolved as we, spoke back and forth about the message. I don't think that everything has to have a message, a clear message, but it has to do something to the audience, whether it's, I don't know, enraging them or consoling them. It has to do something. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a clear-cut premise, in my opinion. But yeah, Finding Her Light, I think, is appropriate title.
And the thing that's so awesome about it is that, it's sort of ballet, beautiful music,
beautiful actresses.
Visual. I mean, everybody's beautiful.
Everybody's gorgeous.
Everybody. I mean, you really, the beauty of it is what blows you away, I think, first. And then you have, it's just very grand, and the locations are amazing. And you did this in Los Angeles too, right?
Oh yeah, it was shot in Los Angeles in 2.5 days. The first part of it was shot at the Hollywood Athletic Club.
Nice.
I think the most famous thing that's been shot there was a Dior commercial with Charlize Theron.
Theron? Yeah.
I don't know if you guys, do you remember that commercial?
It's back in the day, right?
Right, it's back in the day. I want to say back in the early 2000s or in the 1990s, but it's a very, extravagant commercial. But the guy gave Maika a really great deal. So
nice. Hey, that's great.
We shoot all over that place, and then we shot underwater, which was a big challenge because none of us had ever shot underwater before.
Were you underwater too?
The DP.
Were you underwater? You weren't underwater as well, no?
No. But I felt bad for an actress, Quayla. She kept having to dive off that board with that huge costume on. I don't know if the costumes in the movie are beautiful. Monique Loren designed all the costumes, and they're just freaking amazing. I think they help, in a big way, create the story and the fantasy that you see. But by the 7th time that this girl jumped off the diving board into the water, I wanted to take a break for her. We got to give her a breather. It was a lot. So,
wow. And also, too, tell us about the young ladies that portrayed the main girl and the different. How many girls were there in the ages?
There were 4 girls. They're all from Lula Washington Dance School over there on Crenshaw. Thank you, Lula Washington, for loaning us out. You're wonderful dancers. But we first cast Zen, who played the 10-year-old dancer, and we ended up casting everyone else around her. And they were great. They were wonderful. I mean, the amount of discipline that these young ladies have is just awesome, and they were just open and willing, and the parents were very supportive, so we couldn't ask for a better situation.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh, so yes, Zen played the 10-year-old. Imani was the 3-year-old. And then we go to Jonice, who played the 15, 16-year-old. And then Quayla, who's actually their instructor, their dance instructor in real life, played our oldest ballerina. So It was great because they all had a relationship beforehand, before we even came into the picture. So that made it easier too.
Wonderful. Did you have any dancing in your background at all?
At the club. No.
That was funny.
I mean, I took a couple of dance classes at Howard, because it was part of the requirements to graduate. But no, I am not a dance. I can Dougie. I'm Dougie.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, and one thing too, it was so well lit as well.
Yeah,
the lighting was
yes. John Orphan, who was our director of photography, I mean, he came with his whole crew. He had his lighting, his camera assistant. We actually shot it on the Red Dragon.
Nice,
awesome camera.
Yes.
Yeah, so we were able to shoot all that slow motion that you see. Everything was shot at 110 frames per second or more. Nice. So you're actually able to have true slow motion. So. Yeah, and a lot of that lighting that was in there was also natural lighting. That you see. There weren't a whole bunch of lights, especially in that opening scene. That was just natural light that was coming through the window.
That is awesome. That is great. Yeah, I mean, the cinematography, that's one thing I was telling Kent. I was like, oh my, holy smokes. I mean, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's very eye-catching. And I just was like, I want to see this again. It was just so good. So good. So I mean,
down there in the Rose Garden, and it's so funny because when we first did the location scout down there in the Rose Garden, and I was trying to explain to John Orphan what we were going for in that moment. He was just like, "Oh, that's a lot. I'm sure you guys don't want to shoot it on a green screen or in a studio, because it's all these ugly buildings in the background and I don't think it's gonna work." And Mike and I were like, no, it's gonna work. It's gonna look beautiful. But he was worried that the traffic on the street and the buildings, that you would catch all of that and it wouldn't be pretty. But I think it turned out all right.
I didn't see a car, I didn't see a building.
I mean, you see it, but it's so quick,
Wow. Oh, we have a question. It says, I'd like to know, does she ever deal with creative blocks, and how does she deal with it? Oh, do you have creative blocks? Someone asked.
I do have creative blocks. And there are different ways that I deal with. Sometimes you just got to walk away for a little bit. You can focus your energy on something so much that you start getting in your own way and editing yourself before you can get it out. It helps me just to step away from it, maybe go for a walk, go for a run, or go watch a good movie. I like to, when I'm writing, I like to do free association. I'll just do, I'll write down my topics that I want to write about and just write 5-10 pages, stream of consciousness. Even if it's garbage, just get it out. So that helps. But if somebody else has some suggestions for me, I'll take them.
Now, in the film, let's talk about the parents. The actor, his name is Demetrius Gross, who, oddly enough, we just seen in 13 Hours. We went to go see
13 Hours. Yeah, it was a good
I haven't seen it. I heard it's really good.
Yeah, he did great. Yeah, it was awesome movie.
So now he's Demetrius Gross from Finding Her Light.
There you go.
Yes, we taught him everything he knows.
Yeah. He was supposed to have been on this show like last year, but the times didn't match up. So, but he's a fantastic actor. So he talk about him. How he became involved in the project and just working with him. What was that like?
I first met Demetrius Gross down at the National Black Theater Festival, and is that Winston in South Carolina? Is it North Carolina or South Carolina? I think that's in North Carolina. Every 2 years, there's a National Black Theater Festival, and it's like it feels like a big family reunion. It's the first week in August, and all these Black theater creators and goers come together, and there's a huge festival. And that's actually where I met Demetrius. He was doing Black Angels over Tuskegee. Have you all heard of that play?
Mm-hmm.
It ran for a while
in
New York. Leon Gray is the writer-director of that. And I remember just looking at him thinking, wow, this brother's striking. This brother needs to be on somebody's camera, not knowing he was already halfway famous. I'm discovering something. And when I got out to California, I actually shot a couple of videos and Demetrius helped me out with it. And I mean, he's great to look at on camera. And even outside of that, I mean, he's just a chameleon as an actor. Like Jeffrey Wright, it's like he gets lost in the character and you don't see him anymore. And when Micah approached me about this project, she already knew that she wanted to cast Demetrius from the start. And I was like, you know, yeah, Demetrius, great, but let's see some other people just in case. She was like, no, we got to get Demetrius. We got to get Demetrius, because she wanted that very, and it works, that contrast between the small, tiny 3-year-old and then this big looming presence of the father. Just to have that contrast on screen is really beautiful to watch. So. And he did a great job. He really shines in the role.
Also, too, you did a very good job of filming him really well, too. I mean, not just him, but, you know, the whole cast. But, you know, having seen him in other stuff, you know, people don't realize that, you know, it really matters how they shoot you, you know, and the way you did and made up and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought you gave him a very good presentation that sometimes in other things that I've seen him in, that it's not there. Does that make, you know, you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I know what you mean. Demetrius has very strong features that might be a little overpowering depending on what role he's doing, but we didn't want Dad to be, you know, too much. We wanted Dad to have very inviting, but he can look kind of menacing. So, and again, I owe this to John Orphan. He's just an amazing DP. If you get a chance, look him up online. He has an awesome reel. Ooh. And as soon as I saw his reel, I thought, oh, this guy shoots really well. He shoots very theatrically. His stuff looks very dramatic, so it worked.
Also, too, the mother. What's the actress's name? And talk about her.
Maika St. Alban. She's the writer producer.
I didn't know that. I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, when she wrote it, when she was writing it, I was like, girl, you know, you got to play this part, right? She was like, oh yeah, that's part of the reason. That's part of the plan. And we have to do that, you know, as Black actresses. Not only is it hard, you know, to get a role just being an actress, but to get a role as a Black actress, you know, so in order to empower ourselves, you gotta be versatile, you know, and create your own content. That's why I'm so happy for Issa Rae, who did Awkward Black Girl. I mean, sister is doing it. She saw a void and was like, I'm gonna pick something and star in it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, she's doing an awesome job. Like her presence on online is just everywhere. It's like, wow, it keeps it done. We have another question from the audience. It says, I've always wanted to create a short film, but I have no idea of where to start. What would you suggest as a starting point?
To create a short, write what you know, write what you're passionate about, because you see so many projects that, you know, start and then no one finishes it because they're not passionate about it. I've done it. I've been guilty of it. So yeah, and when someone doesn't necessarily write what they know or what they're passionate about, you can tell. It reads. Once you read the script or, you know, you see it on screen, it's kind of flat. So definitely pick something that you're passionate about and just do it. Just pick up a camera, pick up a cell phone and do it.
I love that. Just do it.
Just do it.
Now, also too, you know, we're currently at the Pan African Film Festival, which is a wonderful film festival in Los Angeles, California, and it's been around. This is the 24th year of the Pan African Film Festival, and I actually have a personal history with the festival because me and my father used to put up the art exhibit for the festival for many years, and so this is the first time I had something that was in the actual film part of the festival, which was very cool.
Yeah, awesome. I enjoyed you guys' piece too. I didn't get to see it the first day because we were running late, but when it was the first one to go up, right?
The second one.
I think it was the second. Yeah, the second one.
Second one. The first one is Uhura and Sasha movie Lines, and then
the second one with the guys on the bench, right?
Yes.
Yes, very powerful.
Yeah,
very powerful.
Yeah. So the cool thing is because we all have short films, so they put us in a group of other filmmakers, and there's 5 total films, and we're the second one, and then the third film is a film called About That, and Miss Patton over here is in this film as well. Well, first of all, did you guys do some finagling to be in the same thing?
No, not at all. Someone actually emailed me and told me, they're like, another film that you're in is screened in the same theater right before it. I had no idea until someone told me. So that was just lucky.
I thought maybe that y'all were in cahoots before I actually had a trip.
Not at all.
Okay, that's interesting though. But it's really cool film, and we're gonna get Damien on the show at some point, and also to Benny's film as well, and Sasha. They're gonna come on the show as well. But so give us a little bit about that film, film, and your involvement in that film as well.
Well, when Damien first approached me about the film, he didn't even have a script. And I was like, brother, I need to see a script first before I agreed to it, because I've done that before where I agreed to a project and hadn't seen a script, and it wasn't pretty. So even if I respect you and know your art and your background, it's better to look at a script. So maybe about a week later, he sent me 3 pages of a piece of a script. And I emailed him back like, okay, where's the middle and the end? You got a beginning here. He was like, no, you don't understand. I said, send me a script and then we can talk. So maybe another week after that, he sent me about 5 pages. I still didn't think it was done. I thought it needed work. But I saw the potential in it. And I said, you know what? I'm signed on to do this, brother, because I know Damien, and he doesn't take no for an answer. I think he's a great writer and director, but that brother is an awesome producer. You put something in Damien Smith's hands, he's going to get it done. So I said, at least, I know we're going to have a product. I'm not going to agree to do this and we shoot it and never hear about it again, which, as you know, happens all the time. So we started shooting it, and he was like, listen, I got this aesthetic, so just follow me on this. Just trust me and look at it. It's great. It really is awesome.
And just so the audience will know about that, I'm not. I don't want to say too much because Damien is going to come on, but it's basically about a guy who has some mental issues. And I don't want to ruin the film for anybody, because is it out for people to see? Is it online?
No, it's not online. It's still running the film.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's been going pretty strong. So
okay, it's about a guy who has some mental issues, and he has a girlfriend that may or may not exist. I'll say that. I'll let Damien say more when he comes on, but it's funny, and because I remember when I first was watching, I was like, okay, all right, what is and then when it gets to the reveal, I'm like, what the hell?
Well, I think it's funny in a very heartbreaking
Yeah.
way. Which is the brilliance of it.
The little girl, I was like, why is she acting so weird?
Right, we're like,
and the cool thing is, it's it's a lot like a movie maybe this is a bad one, Usual Suspects, where you see it again, then you start catching things. You're like, oh,
you start putting stuff together. Or like
right.
Sixth Sense.
It's so much better the second time too, when you see it. But you played his sister, was it?
I played his friend, his best friend.
Oh, okay. And
And I think I was saying something at the talk back. When I first read it, I wanted to play the comedy
right.
in it. Wanted to play the comedy. He's like, no, sis. Keep it serious. Keep it gentle. And it works. It works great.
It's really, really good. And I enjoyed that one as well. So now, anyone in the audience who wants to come in and take a seat, this is a good time to do so. Or if you want to ask a question as well, the seat is open. I know there were some people that said they wanted to pop in. So
that's so cool. This is so cool. I've never
Isn't it
seen
though?
this before.
Yeah.
Come in and take a seat.
Shutterbug, you want to pop in, or I guess it's Team Vision?
Hop on in.
So and while we are, wait, we got a phone call. Let's see.
Oh,
Hello, caller.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Brianne. I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Hello, Brianne.
hello.
Yes.
Hello.
So, do you have a question?
Well, I'm a friend of Jamie's, and I understand that she's speaking tonight. So I don't know if I'm catching the tail end of that.
Yes, she's here.
Brianne, I didn't recognize your
Hello,
voice at first. Hi, Brianne.
Yeah, you are live.
I'm going to say that I'm a really big fan of Jamie, both personally and professionally. She probably has one of the most beautiful hearts and souls I've ever met. And I had the good fortune of working with her for a month in Fiji a few years ago. And
right.
she really enriches the lives of everyone she knows personally and professionally. So I always support when I see him.
Oh, Brianne, thank you so much. Brianne is an awesome actress, producer. She's amazing. Yeah, we spent a long time in Fiji together.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Nice.
Thank you so much, Brianne. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you so
it.
much.
So just to give a shout out, and please keep up the good work and please keep inspiring people everywhere. Okay?
Love you, Mama.
All right.
All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So,
Aw, that was lovely.
that is so. All right. We might need to do a whole show about Fiji. Fiji sound interesting. So we might have to do a whole show about what happened in Fiji.
Oh yeah, that's a whole. Woo. It was a reality show produced by Fox that never got released here.
Oh.
And it was kind of like Survivor. And
Nice.
they took all these independent women and put them on an island. We had to recreate our own society using manpower. But we had to kick a man off the island one at a time. And that's the only way we got food and supplies.
Oh, wow.
It never aired here.
What's the name of
And
the
that was
show?
probably a blessing. But it aired in Finland. So
What's the name of the show?
it's called When Women Rule the World.
Love it.
Sounds scary.
Yeah, it does a bit.
Sounds scary. Yes.
Yeah, it was scary.
All right, Daniel. How you doing, Daniel?
Daniel?
What up, G?
All right. So, do you have a question
Hello?
for our guest?
Yeah, I do.
What's that?
Did you guys hear about the young teen that got shot today? Not today, but yesterday.
No.
No.
Oh.
No.
Black young kid got shot. He was unarmed.
Well, that's unfortunate. But do you have a question for our guest?
Yeah. What do you guys want me to ask?
All right. Thank you, Daniel.
Hold on.
Thank
Don't
you.
do that. Don't do that. You can't.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel's bored.
That's the one
He's like,
drawback.
"Hey, guys."
Yeah. No, Daniel. Daniel, we're doing a show, Daniel. All right.
Thank
sorry
you.
about that. Anybody who has questions for our guest, not a random question.
He said, "What's up? What y'all want me to ask?"
Yeah, I had to kick Daniel out of the room. All right. No trolling. No trolling, everybody. All right. So, okay. So, what's next for you, though? Oh, wait. Hold on a second.
Wait, I think we have a call in.
All right. All right. Marvetta?
Yes, how are you doing? I'm in bed and listening, and I'm enjoying this. So, overlook my
Hi,
appearance.
Marvetta.
Hey, I just want to ask you guys, for the person who's getting ready to put together their first film, do you have any advice?
Is it a short film or a feature film?
It's going to be a feature.
a feature, I would say make sure your script is tight.
Okay.
Even if you're not working from a script, I had a professor, a writing professor of mine used to say, if it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage. And I think that's the same thing that applies to TV and film. If your script is not tight in the beginning, you're going to have a harder time once you're in principal photography. So just as much as you can, make sure that your script is tight and good and everything is in it, because if not, you're going to end up with a lot more problems than necessary. So start with a great script and get some money, a little bit of money together, because you want to at least be able to feed your crew and your actors. So
yes, that's important. Because my big thing that I've been worried about is continuity. I want to make sure that if we have to go back and we shoot something, that if the person had on a red blouse, that they don't show it with a blue one, or that everything stays consistent. So, what do you do?
The best way to do that is have your script supervisor, have that continuity person there, and if you can find somebody to volunteer to do it, that's great. But the more I do this, the more I realize it's definitely a collaborative medium. Technology is getting to the point where you can do a lot of it yourself, because all these prosumer cameras and just access to audio packages and editing software makes it easier, but it's still very much a collaborative medium. So get a strong team together, have a great tight script, make sure you got an assistant director to keep you on schedule, because if not, you might lose a little bit of hair during the process. So just make sure your pre-production is tight, and you should be good.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck on your project.
Thank you.
Take care.
Some Hollywood big budget films, their continuity be off. Like, you go to.
You're like, how?
There's a whole website dedicated to it. I forgot the name of it, but they show major movies and they point out the continuity issues.
And what's so funny about that? See, they can get away with it, but us as independents, they'll tear us apart for.
Oh yeah, so, absolutely. So, like, did you see that scene? Her pinky was sticking out.
Hello. How you doing, JB? We can't hear you. JB.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, JB.
Your mic, you got to make sure your mic is selected, JB.
Your mic, I think let me go back. I think this question was, let me see.
JB. Yeah.
We can't hear you.
Pop out up in your top right corner and fix your mic, and then come back in, all right?
This question was up here. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me. Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask the question for you. Okay. It says his question was, do you have anything to offer anyone that's coming into the acting scene for the first time?
Coming into the acting scene for the first time, the most I can say, and it sounds kind of cliche, is know your craft. In a day and age of reality shows and microwave celebrities, everyone can become a celebrity just from an Instagram account. But if you're serious about the craft of acting, get into a class, get some training, get into a theater production, because most of the great film actors actually come from the theater. Denzel Washington comes from the theater. Jeffrey Wright comes from the theater. So yeah, I would just say study. And one tangible piece of advice is get some great headshots, because that's your calling card to get into the room. If you don't have a headshot, then you're going off of somebody giving you an introduction. But most casting directors, the way you get into the room is they see your picture online on one of the casting sites and they call you in. So get some really great headshots.
Let me ask you a question about auditioning. Are you one of those people that don't mind auditioning, or are you someone who don't like auditioning? And what is your
I'm moody.
What is your
I'm moody about it.
strategy?
There are some days where I'm like, yes, I'm ready. I'm about to put on the show of my life in this room, and it's fun. And there are other days where, you know, you're just beating yourself up, especially after the audition. You start thinking, oh, I could have done this. I should have done that. I should have. But really, you gotta let it go. You know, I find that I'm better at auditioning if I have the more auditions I have in a week. If I have 5 or 6 auditions in a week, I'm gonna be well oiled, you know. Whereas if I just had one audition that month, I mean, it's a muscle. You have to work it out. So.
Do you have a strategy? I know you may not want to tell all of your strategies.
Right.
A little nugget that you can.
I can't tell my secret. I do a lot of character work, and I really enjoy doing accents and just becoming different characters. And believe it or not, a lot of my research happens on YouTube. So if I need to, you know, play a prison thug, a lesbian prison thug, I just go to YouTube. YouTube it. Let me see what comes up. So one of the best things for me, I know what makes me more relaxed in the room, is the better you know the script, the more relaxed you can be. You're not worried about flubbing a line or. So for me, it helps to know the script like the back of my hand. That way I could just, you know, throw it away. Even if I keep the script in my hand, I'm comfortable enough to where I could just be in the moment and create an honest performance.
Nice. I'm a big fan of accents. So could you give us a little bit?
What? How did I know this was going to happen? What kind of accent do you want to hear, darling?
Ooh,
you want me to do an accent like this?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Can you do a British?
Yes.
A Britain?
Yeah.
A British accent?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I'm shy about busting out my British accent, but, you know, I can throw you a little, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
I love it.
I'm good with accents when I can have the script and sit with it a little bit. I'm not one of those freestylers where I can, you know.
Right.
I got to sit with the script. Then,
right.
That's awesome. Oh, I think we have another question. Let's see. She says, is acting better than voiceover or are they hand in hand?
Well, I don't think you can separate being a voiceover artist from acting. I mean, doing voiceover is acting. If anything, it's more of a concentrated form of acting because you don't have the visuals to rely on. So everything is, you know, coming vocally, sonically. I have a huge respect for voiceover actors because it really is a different type of training. One of my first gigs, actually, when I first got to New York, I was with a voiceover agency called Arcieri. And I learned so much doing, the first thing you want to do as a voiceover actor is you want to do all this extra stuff with your voice and go up and down and And one of the agents told me there, no, just keep it simple. Just, you know, keep it simple. And because that's how you draw your audience in. If you're doing all of this with your voice in a roller coaster, they don't know what to pay attention to. But if you know, draw them in and make things more nuanced and subtle, that's how you draw your audience in. So that's a little bit I know about voiceover acting.
I love it.
All right, here we go.
Oh, somebody's coming in, or do we have another? Oh, we have another question. Wow. I have wrote a script for a short film some time ago, but I don't know where to begin. I guess
I would have a reading. I think I would have a reading of it. Get a few actors or your friends and family together and have what you call a table read.
Script. We don't know where to begin filming it.
Filming it.
Oh, they want to begin filming it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, before you begin filming it, make sure you have a read, still a table read of it. You don't want to get to production and then all of a sudden realize, oh, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
So I would still have a table read. But if you want to start shooting it, create a shooting schedule. Make sure you got a budget to support it. To even if you're shooting guerrilla style and not getting permits, you still need to be able to feed your cast and crew and get props. So you need money. So get an Indiegogo campaign together or a Kickstarter, just so you can have a little, because you're going to need money for post-production too, with color correction and editing and festival submissions. So as much as people want to say, oh, you can do this for free because of technology, no, you can't. You still got to have money.
Yeah.
Just to submit to Pan African Film Festival.
Yep.
There's submission fees. So yeah, you got to have some money.
Wow, we have a lot of questions tonight. Holy smokes. This is awesome. Where does a new actor start jobs, small commercials? Where it just moves.
Oh,
Theater.
where does a new actor start?
Jobs.
Like small commercials, theater. It's usually what, like, a lot of people start with theater, right? Commercial.
Yeah.
Commercial.
I mean, nowadays you can get a YouTube show together.
That's
The important thing is just to start.
Yeah.
So, people used to say start with a theater. That's where you get your chops, where you start where you're comfortable.
You know what I tell to the young folk? I tell them, like, you guys have it so easy compared to back in the day. You can literally, for almost very little money, you can film a movie with a dang smartphone. You can edit it on your personal computer. You can compose the music. You can, for very little money, you can actually get, and you can distribute it online, if you so choose, to get your stuff out there. Back in the day, you wasn't doing that. You had to film. You had to, you had to actually film. Right. So you could cut your teeth. You could learn on the job, basically. So it is very, very much more accessible now for people to get into it now. So now it's only about your drive, really.
Exactly. I love that the playing field is so level now. You can have a little film, like what was the name of that film? Tangerine. Did you all see Tangerine? It was shot on the iPhone 5.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Really well at Sundance. I mean, they shot that on some iPhones, and look at it now. It's showing internationally, so there's no excuse.
No excuse. Yeah.
It's what you were saying, Kente. It's really about your drive and your determination to get it done.
Yeah. It's something else, though. I mean, just seeing what's going on now, and there's some real natural talent that's out there. So it's really awesome. So now, does anyone have any more questions before we get to rapid fire?
Rapid fire? What is that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
A little surprise.
Our game we like to have with our guests.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. All right, we're at the point of the show that we affectionately like to call rapid fire. The way that rapid fire works is that me and Miosha will pepper you with questions. Maybe not necessarily about, the film business, maybe on a little personal note, but nothing too personal because we don't get down like that.
Look, my ears are burning already.
So the first
She's like, wait.
First question I always like to start off with is, a couple of years ago at Coachella, they had a hologram concert for the rapper Tupac. What dead artist or band would you like to see a hologram concert of?
It has to be a band, a group. Can it be one?
Artist or band.
Oh, I would love to see Josephine Baker in a hologram in a performance. Only because, there are people who have done one-woman shows, but I heard it's nothing, compared to seeing her in, when she actually did the banana dance outfit. I think that would be really cool to see. Who else? It's just that video and stuff is so accessible. You don't think about, Who would I like to see? Of course, Michael Jackson. You said Michael Jackson, right?
No. Anybody you like.
If I could go to, actually, if I could go to a Jackson 5 hologram concert when they were little, like
cool.
ABC and all those old, because that was just a whole different type of energy and different time. You don't have shows like that anymore, you know? So I would love to, who else? I can't think of anyone else right now.
What's
I don't know.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Mine's
Right now, this moment.
That's my favorite color as well. Blue.
Yellow. I really love yellow.
Me too. Yellow. I love yellow and red.
You look absolutely fabulous. But I gotta ask you this question: what's your favorite guilty pleasure junk food?
Guilty pleasure junk food? It's not necessarily considered junk food, but I love butter.
I love butter too.
Everything. I know it's so bad for you, but when I was little, I would eat butter off the spoon by itself.
Sound like me.
But I love butter, and my favorite food when I want to treat myself is crab legs. So crab legs with some garlic butter.
That sounds good. Cat or dog?
Recently, I became a dog lover. I used to love cats, but for some reason, I developed an allergy in my late 20s. I was never allergic to cats when I was younger, but I say neither, because I'm not a big pet person, but if you have a dog, I'll dog sit for you.
Okay, this is kind of a funny question. What would your last meal be?
Crab legs with some garlic butter, and garlic mashed potatoes, jalapeno Grigio, anything spicy. I love Thai food, so maybe shrimp pad Thai.
That sounds delicious. Wow, I'm getting really hungry.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
All right, so I have another good one for you.
Look, somebody said whipped butter right out of the tub. That's what I'm talking about, Lady Companion.
What was your first car?
My first
Car.
Cutlass Sierra, Oldsmobile. Drove like a boat. My Aunt Suzanne, it was my Aunt Suzanne's car, and she let me use it to drive my cousin and I back and forth to high school. And I would be rolling in that car like it was, a big granddaddy Cadillac playing some Jodeci.
Jodeci. Oh, Miosha Jodeci was this group that was back in the...
You know what? Continue. Place you want to go. A place that you want to go to or visit that you've never been before.
On my list, I still want to go to Brazil, Hong Kong, South Africa, a couple different places in Africa, Paris, Italy, the Venice Canal, lots of places. I'm a gypsy. I love to travel. I've been a lot of places though, but still a lot of places I want to go.
Awesome.
Now we have one last question, and we have a caller. So caller, just hold on for the very last question. We always end off like this. Is you're based in New York now?
I'm based in my skin.
Well, I have to answer this question. It's location driven. So we'll say New York.
Yes, in this moment, yes, I'm based in New York.
Okay, so you gotta help a brother out. Take a young lady out on a date in New York, and he's coming to you. That's Auntie Jamie for advice. So help the brother out. Plan his date for this young lady. First date.
That's hard because I think you should tailor a date to that individual person.
Let's say she's very much like you.
She's very much like me. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to get some crab legs. No, I'm kidding. Dinner and a movie sounds cliche, but who doesn't love a good movie? And to be able to sit and talk about it afterwards, that way you get to know about the person and there's no pressure to necessarily, impress their friends. So I would think a dinner and a movie would be nice. Preferably something funny because I love to laugh, a good comedy. And that's it. Simple. Home before midnight.
Dinner and a movie and a peck on the cheek.
You say?
And a peck on the cheek, right?
A little peck on the cheek.
Oh.
Maybe. Maybe. If you're nice.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So, caller, area code 614.
That's right. This is Jamie's dad. Hi, Jamie. I love you. Honey. You're doing so great.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? That's he's in Columbus, Ohio.
I am.
Hello.
All right.
What's your question, sir?
But I enjoyed the whole cast. I enjoyed it. It was nice, very informative, and keep up the good work. And we love you here in Ohio.
Thank you. Love you too. Love. I get so much of my creativity from my father. My father's a musician.
Oh, wow.
Who can play over 7 instruments.
Wow.
I don't know how many instruments you play.
I play piano, trombone, guitar, keyboard, drums, trumpet, saxophone, and I'm giving myself violin lessons right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's all self-taught. So I get a lot of my creativity from both my mother and my father.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Do you have music? Do you put music out, sir?
Beg your pardon?
Do you put music out, sir?
No, not at the present time.
Oh, okay.
He needs to. I'm trying to get him on one of these projects because he's so talented. But he's on Facebook. What's your handle on Facebook?
Burnett C.
Burnett C. That's SEAY. I mean, he's really awesomely talented. So look out for him. I'm gonna get him on the next project to score the film.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. For calling.
Thank you for calling in, Dad.
Love you very much. Take care. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Love you.
Oh.
All right. That's so awesome. Once again, thank you so much. I know that we're going to be doing a lot of your work in the next coming years. I can't wait to watch your film again.
Yeah.
Yes, go see it. For all of you who haven't seen it, there's one last screening at Pan African Film Festival that's coming Monday. The screening with you guys film still. They're all still same films, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go see it. Micah St. Alban, the producer, writer, will be there. Unfortunately, I'll be in New York. So, but yeah, go out and support these films.
Now, was people be able to see the film anywhere besides like festivals at some point?
At some point, right now we just want to run the festival circuit because a lot of times once it airs online, a lot of festivals don't want it. So we're trying to let it have its run on the festival circuit, and then maybe we'll get it up online. So
That's awesome.
but you can, if you want to see if it's coming to a festival near you, you can go to the Facebook page, which is called Finding Her Light.
Finding Her Light. And how can people get you on social media?
Social media, you can, my Instagram is Jamie Patton, that's Jammie, last name Patton, Patton, and on Facebook, I am James Van Pearl, that's Jaymes, VANPEARL. And Twitter is also James Van Pearl, but I'm very rarely on there. I got to get my Twitter game back up.
Yeah, we get that
Same.
popping. And also, too, make sure you guys check out About That as well from the trend. Do you have any projects?
Check out About That.
Is there anything else coming out in the project?
Well, right now I'm in post-production for my first feature I'm excited about called Welcome to Youngstown. It's a coming-of-age story about two best friends growing up on the south side of Youngstown and everything they go through during the time they're trying to get into this variety show. It's a citywide variety show that they're competing in, but during the process, you see everything that these two young girls who have very different backgrounds go through. So, and I'm working on that with Crystal Cotton, who played the girlfriend in About That. So, that's
The girlfriend, question mark.
Is she? Shit.
Awesome as well.
So yeah, and there's a Facebook page for Welcome to Youngstown as well, so you can get updates.
Yeah, looking forward to that as well. So, and it's going to make the festival circuit as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We just got to get it edited. We're in the process of syncing up sound right now, so that's the whole ordeal into itself.
I cannot wait. Mio Shabine, how can people follow you in social media and tell them about your project that's coming out?
Oh, Camera Phone 2. Yeah, that's coming out March 25th. It's a horror movie. Woohoo!
Woo! All right.
With my good friend Eddie Brown Jr. He's also the co-director of this project that we've been working on for like 3 years. So we're really excited to be, it's out. It's going to keep coming out this year. So stay tuned. That'll be out on, it's actually a website for that, cameraphone2.com. And you can find me, Miosha Bean, on social media. Everything is just Miosha Bean, my name.
Congrats, Mama.
And thank you.
Follow me at Kente F. And just programming note, this Sunday we have 2 shows. We have the Black Sail show, as well as we're going to be covering the season premiere, mid-season premiere of the Walking Dead, as well as on on Tuesday we have a show planned. I can't announce it yet, but we're definitely having something on Tuesday as well. So it's going to be very busy. You're going to see a lot of me, because we've been on hiatus for quite a while. So so now we're going to see me a lot. So a lot of great things are coming down the pike. I'm very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to Monday. If you're in the Los Angeles area,
yes.
Go to 15 Cinema.
Come on out.
I so wish I could be there, because the last night is always the best night, because that's when everybody decides to come. So you guys have fun for me over there.
For sure.
We're gonna have a great time, and make sure we all shout you out.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, you going to the closing night party?
I think I'm gonna try to get to that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
Me. I'll be up here freezing in New York.
Oh, is it cold? How cold is it right now?
It's so cold. I don't know the temperature. It's just cold. I didn't get spoiled in LA.
Yeah, that was great.
So we will catch you next time right here on indieradio.org. Peace.
Thank you.